Hey everyone, Cooper here, host of the fine podcast you're listening to. I just want to let you know that the episode you clicked on has a format that is very heavily inspired by a podcast called The Booking It. To be clear, our thoughts and opinions in this episode are our own, but the format is very similar to this podcast. I just wanted to give you a heads up and give credit where it is due. With that out of the way, enjoy the show. Coming up next, Bookin' It discusses The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Bookin' It. I'm your humble and eloquent host, Cooper Cobbs. It's a bright day, and over there we got Tanner Lewis.
Hello.
Isaiah Redsky.
What's up?
And, of course, Matthew Killingsworth. How you doing, fellas?
Howdy.
Doing pretty good.
Doing great over here.
Pretty good, eh?
We need to learn a new word besides
Fine.
Doing pretty great.
Great. Isaiah? Did Isaiah
doing
say
swell.
great? I don't know if I've ever heard him say anything else. No.
No.
Okay,
I said
thought
great.
Isaiah
I said great.
No, is that... Yeah, you said good, not great.
I'm being productive.
What? I said I'm
if that's what
doing
you're
great.
Asking.
Isaiah, what
I
is
never
so
said
not
not
great
great.
about you this week?
I said I'm doing great.
He gets so defensive so easily. It's hilarious.
Much like Tom Sawyer easily swindles his fellow men, or boys.
What?
And The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great transition.
That was a
Great transition,
terrible
guys.
transition. If you could
That was
do
pretty
that
Perfect
better.
trend. All right,
Are you
hey.
insulting my transitions?
I'm not insulting
Yeah.
your traditions.
I am insulting.
I am.
No, no. Transitions.
See,
Look, Tom
Stomp a
Sawyer.
baggage.
I'm not lying here. It appeared on my bookshelf.
Yes.
Not joking. And I will literally.
That's what you say every time, Tanner.
Classic.
Yeah, I'll just say,
Back
like,
to the
it
good
was
old days.
literally, like, just on, it's been on our bookshelf forever. It was actually my dad's copy that I
Okay.
read. It's ancient. It's falling apart. It's very
I bet he got it
nice.
for like his 5th birthday or something like that.
Yeah, it's got his name in there with a black marker. It's
Yep.
very,
Yellow,
Very inventive.
opening pages, all that good stuff.
oh yeah. It has this smell that just makes me want to eat an apple, so I eat an apple every time I read it, and I'm not joking.
Yeah.
Every time I read it,
Yeah.
I eat an apple.
There are just those books that
What?
just, they pass down through
Question?
the family, and they just
See,
the book that everybody reads, Yeah, Tom Sawyer is definitely one of those books. I can see them.
yeah. That's so interesting. That's the kind of stuff we have this segment called baggage for. Hearing the different foods Tanner eats when he smells books.
Anything else, Tanner? Like, come on, go deep, man. Go deep. Start at the very beginning. So yeah,
How was,
you had no idea.
talking about
like,
smelling a book.
I don't know. It's interesting stuff.
going
Baggage, right? I mean,
Yeah.
What do you bring on your airplane ride you don't need for your trip? That's okay. That was kind of weird. Isaiah, give us your baggage.
So, I mean, I never actually read the book till like this week, but I always heard of the book for like a while. I just never really wanted to read it. So, yeah. I think like 5 or 6 years ago, I heard about the book for the first time, read the back of the book, and I'm like, I'm good. I mean, it was a Dover Thrift edition, so.
Yeah, fair enough. Matt?
I'll go ahead and go. So, I've been to Disney World a lot, but we started going when I was...
Matthew starts off like a lot of conversations, like, I went to Disney World, and...
Well, okay, so anyone who's been to Disney World knows there's an island there that has a lot of... it's called Tom Sawyer Island, but it has a lot of different elements from this book because it was based off this book. So they have the cave that you can go in where Becky and Tom went in and where they eventually found the treasure. They have like different bridges. They have like a barrel bridge that you can go across the water. They have the fort, and they just have a bunch of different fun stuff you can do there. And so I've always loved going to that island, like since I was really little at Disney World. But then I think it was 3rd or 4th grade, I was supposed to read this book. Actually, I don't even think it was for school. It was during the summer one time, and my mom thought I looked bored, so she told me to read this book, and I was like, I don't really want to. This book's kind of lame. It doesn't look very good and all that. And And then she was like, "Did you know that this book is the book that Tom Sawyer Island was based off of?" And that got me a little bit more interested. But anyways, I read it anyway that summer, and I liked it. And then I kind of forgot, like, over the years, I've kind of just not thought about it a lot and kind of forgotten the plot. But I actually, for the first time in years, went back to Tom Sawyer Island last year, and that was interesting because I hadn't been there in a long time. Because I think it actually closed or something for a little bit. But so yeah,
That's cool.
All right, Cooper, what's your baggage?
Yes.
Man, he sounds way too
Well,
excited for that.
I don't really remember. Yeah, sure. I don't really remember a time where I don't remember Tom Sawyer. Like, if somebody mentioned it or something, I was like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. But I don't know if I've ever read the entire book through until this time. I mean, I could definitely tell you. I could tell him Becky in the cave. I could tell you about the whitewashing fence. I could tell you about the murder. I think I've probably started this book before. I don't know if I've ever, like I said, read it all the way through. But most of the parts are familiar to me. So either A, I read the junior version, because I'm sure I've read at least some parts of it, or I read it and I don't remember reading the real version all the way through.
yeah.
So it's kind of one of those books where you like conceivably could do that. But anyway, I read it for the first time, and I've always liked Mark Twain. I don't know. I mean, I liked Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Yeah, I read the Notorious Jumping Frog of Calaveras.
Jumping Frog
County.
of Calaveras County. Yeah.
Notorious.
No, it's the celebrated Jumping
No,
Frog.
it's the
of Calaveras
Notorious.
County. I'm
What?
reading the title right now.
Seriously?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, that was the
What
original
are you
name.
talking about?
Yeah.
I thought it was Notorious.
Back
Anyway,
to Tom
in the front of my-
Sawyer.
What?
In the front of my book, it has like a
What are you talking about?
biography little thing.
Question mark?
Anyway, that's it. What's
What are
going
you
on,
What are you
man?
talking about with that frog thing?
That's the short story.
Oh,
Short story
okay,
we
cool,
read
makes
last
sense.
year.
Continue.
Anyway, so I mean, I really liked Tom Sawyer this time. Obviously, I mean, I've liked it. Not obviously, I don't know, but I liked it, and I've liked it before. I'm sure I've read parts of it before. So I've never really remembered a time without Tom Sawyer, and I've never remembered a time where I didn't like Tom Sawyer. So there's my baggage for you,
Cool.
guys.
go.
You know what we're gonna do
And
next.
Cooper also just finished reading the book about
Basically.
like 10 minutes
I
ago.
know I get cocky sometimes. I'm such a speed reader. I can just read whenever I want to, And I stayed up late because of election night last night to get your reading done. I don't remember what I did Monday night, but I don't think I read a whole lot then. And so I crammed for the past hour just reading.
Yeah, no, I
straight.
started reading it yesterday.
So
So.
Dover
I
Thread
lacked
doesn't
something
do
to
me
read
any
on the
favors,
weekend, so I just
so-
reread it twice, once each day.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, it's not like a thick book or anything, but I mean,
Yeah, it's
especially if this Dover Thread, like the print's actually not that
It's like
big. Anyway, wait. So we're starting a new segment, guys.
We are?
It's called the book in 60
You probably
seconds.
should tell us
so,
this beforehand
Actually,
from now on.
the
Hey,
book in 30
Yeah, this
book,
is funny
the
how
book.
Cooper never really tells us what we're doing before we get on here.
It's more
You guys
original
know
that way.
everything we
It's
know.
better that way. Anyway, we're doing the
Yeah.
book in 30 seconds, not 60 seconds. That's too long.
Wait,
So
I-
this part of the
wasn't it
show is
just
we're going to
60
be
seconds,
one of
right?
us explains the book that we're going to read in 30 seconds. Okay, guys?
Who is going first?
I
don't know.
volunteer
I
myself.
haven't decided that.
I say
This is
you do it,
about-
Cooper, since you brought. Oh, okay, Matt. You're Cooper. Never mind. Or Tanner.
Hey,
Okay.
Tanner wants to
Tanner
go.
volunteered.
wants to go.
Alright.
Okay, so
Alright,
there is Tom
starting
Sawyer,
now.
who we assume that both of his parents are dead, and that he is an orphan, along with his half brother Sid, who is living with his Aunt Mary. Correct?
Polly.
Yeah, Aunt Polly. Thank you. Then there's cousin Mary, and then
You got 10
so
seconds, man.
basically,
You gotta go.
he has to whitewash this fence. He comes up with some creative ways to do so, in a quick, short
Time's
amount
up.
of time. My favorite.
You really could have
Wow.
just explained him and then been like the whole
Okay,
book
I can
is
explain
about
it
his
in faster.
adventures.
I can
That's really
explain
what
it
this
faster.
book is about, isn't it?
I was
can,
going to
yeah,
outline
yeah.
each adventure, and then you just.
Can I
But you
explain
had
it?
30 seconds. I warned you, man.
Yeah, you had 30 seconds.
That's okay. We'll
You
get better
literally
at it.
spent
It's
the
our
first 10
time.
seconds trying to remember the aunt's name.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like someone else should go so that they have an
I
idea
could do
about
it.
what the book's
Of the
about.
Tom Sawyer that Tanner described. Whatever, Isaiah, go ahead.
So basically, Tom Sawyer is an orphan. He's living with his aunt and like half brother, or whatever it is. And in the book, at one point, someone gets murdered, and he is like debating whether he should tell if the dude gets murdered, or like who murdered him, because he saw it happen. Blah blah blah. Later on, that dude who murdered someone escaped, and Tom and his friend find that dude and try to find treasure. Find the map or whatever, blah, blah, blah. They find the treasure and get rich, and then Tom isn't really that happy with his money.
Bro, you got like 2 seconds over. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable.
That was cheap. Hey, I will say this, though, because neither explanation really said this. So, I'll just name the characters.
It's going to be
for
Tom
you.
Sawyer in a minute
Tom
and a half
Sawyer,
now,
obviously
I guess.
main guy. Huck Finn. Come on, Cooper. Huckleberry Finn is his friend that was mentioned. Injun Joe is the murderer. And Becky Thornton,
Thatcher.
right? Thornton something, Thatcher. Becky Thatcher is his girlfriend. So those are the characters that were mentioned.
And next time on the book,
We should do 60 seconds.
In 30
We should do
seconds.
60 seconds.
No, yeah. Well, depending on the
Yeah. That is such a Cooper. That is such a Cooper way.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yes, we should talk
No, yeah.
about the adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Yeah.
Tom Sawyer.
Nice. Well, guys, what are your opening thoughts on Tom Sawyer?
It was pretty good. I mean, yeah, I never
hot.
wanted to read it. I always thought it would be like a boring book, but yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite book, but it is good.
I really enjoyed the accents.
Yeah, Mark Twain is so good.
Just
at that.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, I feel like at a certain point, if I had this many different like people talking, and I had my own style of writing for every person talking, I'd probably.
I got
at some
confused
point.
though, reading it, because he doesn't like he
But
said.
you were trying to
Tom
speed read
said,
it.
Huck said this, right? Because I was like, hey, this is Tom,
Yes.
this is Huck, and sometimes you couldn't even tell in context. Like when these boys realize
Yeah,
did
that's right.
to,
He
did
just
not,
goes
like,
back
who's
and
did
forth.
to, who's did not, and you're like,
Right.
come on, Twain, use some pronouns here, man.
I like the way that he doesn't do that. It kind of draws me into the story. It's like with the accents, like I can look. It's like I'm looking into the story, and I'm not really having to decipher like it's like an English descriptive audio, like, and he did this, and he started saying this, right? It's more like I actually know who's saying something by just the context around it. Like if I was blind and I was there, that's what it's like right then.
It is also nice not to have the word "said" on every single
That's
page
true.
about 100 times, like
true.
most books.
Or like IEW teaches us to not ever use said,
Said, yeah, it's replied or
Yep.
responded.
Good old IEW. Anyway,
Called.
let me see. What are some of my first questions here? What did you guys think about like Mark Twain's writing style? We already kind of talked about it, but what do you just think about?
Isn't
just
that
his
what our
writing
whole
style?
last 3 minutes were about?
Let me ask this question. It's a little different.
Don't argue
So
with the question.
Mark Twain famously said, "The choice between the right word and the wrong word is the difference between the lightning bug and the lightning." So, do you think that Mark Twain accomplished that with Tom Sawyer?
I'm still trying to think about that. Yeah. I'd say yes.
Okay. Can you give us some examples, maybe, or just kind of explain why? Like why you think he did?
I mean, I don't really know. I'm trying to think how it applies
Yeah.
to the
Well, like
lightning
just
bug
like
thing. But I mean, in answer to your question, is how do I like his style? I think the best word is stylish. Like, yeah, I like it, and it's fun to read, and it's not
Dense
too
or first time,
dense. There you go, dense or deep, but it's just fun to reading about like a person in a time period doing what they do, and it's very realistic how he thinks about how young boy's mind would work in different situations that he finds himself
Definitely.
in. Especially this young boy with his rebellious personality. And then he wrote Huck Finn too. I've never
should probably
actually
do
read
it
that
sometime.
book. Now that I've read this again, yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of want to read Huck Finn now.
Huck Finn is a truly exceptional book. I love it. I would recommend it highly. I like it over
people
Tom
have heard
Sawyer,
do.
actually.
Yeah, that's
You guys
actually
wanna
that's
have,
what
like,
I've
a
heard too.
debate?
It's just,
Actually,
you've just had a little bit more, it adds a little
sorry,
bit,
Tanner.
Sorry.
yeah, it adds a little bit more depth to the, you have to read Tom Sawyer in order to understand Huck Finn. Because if you just read Tom Sawyer and then you go to read Huck Finn, you're not really going to get the same experience if you read Huck Finn
Right.
and then Tom Sawyer. Because you kind of have to get a little bit of background from Tom Sawyer in their previous adventures in order to kind of get a little bit more of a sense. It's not exactly necessary to read Tom Sawyer before Huck Finn, but I would highly recommend doing so.
Okay. I was wondering actually. So you say Huck Finn takes place after
Yeah.
the story of Tom
Did you guys
Sawyer.
read, like, the little conclusion
story
that he did?
timeline of the book.
I think it was kind of
What?
referring to that.
I don't think I did
Kind
either.
of sums up the book. It was like most of the characters that perform. This is like the
Oh, I
second
see,
paragraph. Most of the characters that perform in this book still live and are prosperous and happy. Someday it may seem worthwhile to take up the story of the younger ones again and see what sort of men and women they turned out to be. But he just said, like, kind of like Tolkien does.
That's different
It's
than the
kind
one
of
I
like
have in
Tolkien is
this
like, but that's not part of this story. So I always like when authors do that. It's like it adds depth to the world,
Yeah.
especially when Tolkien does it. Like, but that is another tale or something like that. And that's also good. Like, oh, I want to go read about that, which is maybe why some people go read the Silmarillion and Children of Durin and all that good stuff.
Okay, so I actually looked this up. He has like 15 to 20 other books that are just all background.
wow.
I tried reading 4 or
Really?
5 of them. Yeah, these are all these were the first books that he actually wrote. Like, The Hobbit was just like a back
Oh, wait,
thing,
we're talking
and
about
it turned
Tolkien?
out
Oh,
to
The
be
Hobbit.
like his
Okay,
thing.
they were talking about.
I thought we were talking about
Yeah.
Mark Twain.
We're talking about Tolkien.
I was
thought
like,
we were still
oh,
talking
I
about
was like-
Tolkien.
I was like,
yeah.
I haven't heard of this before.
Yeah, I knew that
But
about
for
Tolkien.
Tolkien, just I thought we were all on the same page. Sorry, but
Yeah. Hey. Oh, sorry.
yeah, they're just. I don't really think that they're like much. They definitely add a lot more depth to reading The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. For me, it helps clarify a few things and some analogies that he used, but they're not exactly the best
Right.
in my point of view. They're just kind of like
Well,
short stories. Or they sound
Maybe
like
we'll
Greek
do the
mythology.
Silmarillion one day
That's
when
what
we
they
do
are.
Lord of the Rings. That's fine. No, we probably won't. Anyway, let's talk through Tom Sawyer, Chapter 1. How do you think that Mark Twain kind of set up Tom Sawyer as a character? Do you think that right off the bat you could identify with him, or that you could kind of get what type of boy he is?
Oh, I definitely could get what type of boy
Oh,
he
yeah,
would be.
Totally.
Or is.
Like right off the bat, he's totally right off the bat.
Yeah,
he's in trouble
like the
with his
first 2
aunt.
pages.
Typical.
And
That's the
and then
story
he
of the
runs
whole
away.
story right there.
And then when he finally comes back, he
That's basically it.
yes, right there, boom, that's it.
All right, see you next week.
No, but then
Yep.
he has to paint the. But then he has to paint the fence. He has to paint his aunt's fence as punishment. But then he tricks another boy into doing it for him. So that's just like right there, just kind of sets up the character for the whole book. That's the kind of guy he's gonna be. You know, he's kind of just looking out for himself and gets through
I
pretty
remember-
easily.
I remember what I was
Okay,
going to
that's
ask you
fine.
guys real
So,
quick. Sorry,
Cooper,
Tanner, let me just say this
oh.
real quick. So,
I
we talked about with The Hobbit again. I mean, I don't know what the comparison is here, but
Why are we bringing up
The Adventures
Hobbit,
of
guys?
Tom Sawyer, I feel like every chapter it's like his own mini short story, kind of like The Hobbit. What do you guys think about that?
I would agree with that statement. It's definitely
Mm-hmm.
like you get a little bit of a short story in every time. They're all the chapter titles are all of his
Right.
adventures
Mhm.
and such. My edition, my like 1980 edition, has like all a picture on every page.
That's awesome.
Picture on every page. It is kind of annoying, but
that's
it
kinda
allows me to lie. It allows me to lie flat on my side, and then I don't have to look down at one page. I can just look straight up at the other page. I figured out the right way to do it.
Yeah.
it works.
I mean, I feel like Tom Sawyer,
So you lay down and read.
I do
like
that.
Mark Twain and Tom Sawyer.
That's what men do.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa. Manly. Anyway, I feel like Mark Twain with Tom Sawyer didn't do a lot of whole background describing. I think that he assumed everybody could kind of picture it, and sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. Again, with Tolkien, he really was like, these people have no idea what trees look like, what this awesome rock looks like. Mark Twain's like, people, they know what a cave looks like.
Yeah. What this awesome
people like, they
rock
know what a
looks
cave looks like. They know what this whole kind of town looks like. But anyway, kind of going along with that, could you kind of get a picture of what that was like?
Oh, definitely.
Like if he, like I could draw it
Yeah.
the way I see it.
He's gonna draw
Yeah.
Mark Twain.
Actually, I probably see it.
Yeah, I was
pretty
about to say,
similar
yeah,
to
Tom
the
Sawyer
island
on
of-
land in
Yeah.
I have to call it Mark Twain land. That would not be a fun place.
Hey, okay. Before we go any further, you all know I read the like intro thing that talks about Mark Twain's biography. You all know that Mark
Yes,
Twain was
Sam
a pen
Clemens.
name, right?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So I figured some of y'all didn't because I was just gonna say his actual name was Samuel
Mark Twain's way
Langhorne
better.
Clemens, and I thought
Wait, we never
yeah.
actually did a bio on him.
but I thought that was interesting.
I can't look
Yeah.
at his face.
I can read a
without-
little bit here if you want, but I never actually prepared like a bio
Wow.
to give on him.
Yeah, I can't look at his face without thinking Mark Twain, and then when I look at his face and think of the name Sam Clemens, it just
Mark
doesn't
Twain,
come right.
like it perfectly
Yeah,
captures
exactly.
like the witty yet kind of critic, the kind of I don't know. I think it just perfectly replicates what Mark Twain
Yes,
is.
I agree.
It's like Twain, Anyway, Twine.
Twine.
Oh, boy.
All right, so we can talk. Is it chapter 2 the whitewashing chapter, right?
Probably.
This is probably my favorite chapter. Mom read a chapter out of Tom Sawyer. And that was probably one of my first introductions, like the real Tom Sawyer. And I just love the creativeness of Tom Sawyer, just like tricking people. And he's like,
Yes.
not every day a boy gets to whitewash a fence, And everybody's like, why didn't we think of this? And I'm like, that's kind of smart. What do you guys think about that?
Okay, so I kind of have a little, not trying to steal your spot, but
He has enough.
I kind of have a little question for you guys that I thought of while I was reading through this. Do you guys really think that Tom Sawyer tricked the boys, or do you think that they gave them a new point of view?
Yeah, I think, but he
I think
tricked
that's the
them
same thing.
by
Same
giving
thing.
them a new point of view. Like he twisted it. It's like it's not every day boy has to whitewash a fence, and that's for good reason, I guess. But stuff like that.
I mean, I see what you're saying, Tanner, but I think it was kind of dishonest of him because in his mind, whitewashing the fence was a boring activity that he did not want to take part in. So when he said it like it was a really great thing that not every day you get to whitewash a fence or whatever, then it was kind of dishonest. But I mean, if they did it and they had fun with it, then that's their.
No, it was not. It wasn't dishonest. I mean, he didn't lie at all. I mean, he's right. Not every day boy gets to whitewash a fence. Sorry, is it like a law of human action that we covet what is difficult for us to attain? So kind of like what? Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
kind of. Yeah.
I mean, I mow the lawn once a week, and I don't like mowing the lawn once a week, but I go to CC once a week, and I really like going to CC once a week, So, I guess so. But
That's a
little
little
different,
different.
you're right.
That is a bit
But-
different, yeah.
I would use
Crushing
the
on
analogy
that.
of like, sorry, like what if you want to buy something really expensive, like a really nice like
watch.
phone or something, then yeah, or a really nice watch. That's a great example. Really nice watch, and that's expensive, and so it's difficult for you to attain if you don't have that much money already. You have to work for it, and that just makes you want it even more. Like all the hours you put in working for it, thinking about it, and when you finally have enough to get it, that just makes you want it even more.
So that's basically my story
Just-
of trying to get a phone like I've been trying to do for the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 years.
Forever.
Yeah, so I
Ever since you lost tripod.
can, actually it was before my iPod, but I've literally been saving up for like years, and I've got a nice good cash stock piled up.
Ooh, where?
What would you want to tell us?
No,
where?
don't.
And the
Let's
password
just
if it's in
say
a
it's
safe or
in
something.
4 figures.
let us also just say that it is also digital.
Oh, cool.
Then it's not a cash.
Trading stocks or something.
Can you
Tanner,
give me
I'm
the
impressed.
password and the account and all that? Like,
Need your social security number,
yeah,
please.
count the info.
This is your rich
Yeah, thank
Nigerian uncle. I need your bank account number and social security. It's a famous star 6-7 that people do. Anyway, this is kind of the background question. What do you guys think about like Aunt Polly's discipline skills? Do you think that she handled Tom right at all, or no?
Considering he was
really
basically
wanted
a
to.
thief.
She's so susceptible. She's like the
Whoa,
perfect.
bold words.
She's the perfect playbook for Tom. So susceptible.
That's true.
I can walk into your room, kiss you
Yeah,
on the
she
forehead,
tried. It didn't
and
work.
then I could just trick you
Hmm?
and do it well.
That's right. I mean, that was one of the like, stupidest chapters. It was like, nobody would fall for this. But we'd talk about that when we get there.
Yeah.
So I guess chapter 4, is this when he meets Becky? Or is this is church chapter?
Wait, give me a minute. You're the one who just finished. It looked like 20 minutes
Yeah,
ago.
no, but I
What
read
else now?
this part a few days ago.
I think 3 is where he meets
3?
Becky.
Yeah. And then he's showing off in 4.
Oh yeah, when do you guys
It's
think
literally
that...
the title, showing off
When do
in
you guys
Sunday
think
school.
that like
That's
a
right.
talent becomes showing off? What's you guys' opinion on that?
When you use it unnecessarily.
Whoa. That's a good definition right there.
I have something off topic of this
Yeah.
question, but still relevant
It's not
to where we are right now. So I'm just gonna say that right now.
Sure, shoot.
So this is basically the definition of every crush that I've ever had.
1, 2, 3. No, okay.
100 later.
Yeah, just like that's not exactly what to do from a place of knowing,
Yeah,
knowing full too well.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
But it
Very
worked.
wise, Tanner. Tanner
It's
has
funny, like,
experience in
it's funny
much
though,
things.
Tanner's right how, like, he's showing off, he's beating up all the other guys, he's boasting, you know, it's like, why would any girl want this? It's like, times were different, kid, you know, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I thought that,
The most manliest man,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Matthew, you win
Also,
that.
I remember
you win
reading-
that poll right there.
Oh,
Oh, that,
thank
Matthew,
you.
that's a joke because Tanner
Appreciate
means he's
it.
winning the poll because all the polls are so bad. Anyway, apolitical show. We're not talking about politics on this here show.
We could though.
Well, we could
So, guys, what do you guys
put it
think
in
about?
banter next time.
What do you guys think about the church scene here? I remember reading this one. Like, I remember this is one of the ones I do remember, but about the fly and the prayer and all that. What do you guys think about this?
I loved it. It's I dreamed about it when I was younger, like walking into my funeral, seeing everyone mourning, and then just have everybody jump over me and rejoice and
Well,
think
no,
I'm a
I was
ghost.
talking about.
Wait,
I was,
what?
I'm not there yet. I'm talking about like the fly during the prayer. This is still early on.
We're in
This
chapter
is the
4.
show.
Remember
off at
with the
Sunday school
dog,
room.
and then the dog and the beetle and that part like that.
Oh, okay. I'm there now, remembering.
Yeah, the same chapter is trying to memorize a verse or say a verse or something like
Yeah,
Oh, this is the next chapter. Yeah, but at that time.
What?
Yeah, that's remember he said David and Goliath are the first 2 disciples, and then this is the
Oh,
scene I'm
yeah.
talking about after that. That was a good part though. I like that part. I was like, yeah, he
Goliath,
managed
the
to get all these
disciple.
tickets. He asked for a Bible, and they're like, what are the first 2 disciples? David and Goliath. Also, what are the first 2 disciples? Because I had to do some soul search.
I'm not commenting.
That was great.
I'm not even gonna laugh.
They were like, what are they?
What are the actual
Yeah.
first 2 disciples? Oh, Peter
Okay.
and James.
Okay, I thought it was
I
James
think
and John.
so, yeah.
You know
Go
what?
on,
You know
go
what? No,
on.
no. We'll come back next episode and tell everybody. And that's a
Yes.
good place to stop. I mean, good place to stop.
Yeah, speaking of next episode.
See you next
But
time.
donor shoutouts, you know. So I think we should do characters again for this one.
Boy.
Oh well.
Well, Becky can be
well,
Becky.
no, hang on. hang on,
Becky's
hang on.
Becky.
I was thinking we do. This is Matthew's gonna love this one, so I know he's gonna be on my side. Is we do
Oh yeah.
a slang word that represents all of our donors.
What?
You know, like
That ain't
ain't
fair.
or
Okay. What?
or something like that. So I mean, you could really just open up to one page in Tom's Story and pick your favorite slang word and describe the
All
donut.
right.
Yeah,
I
clean
like that.
slang though. Clean
I like
slang.
that.
Yeah, clean. This is not a slander. This is all slang, right? Alrighty, everybody, get.
You know I gotta go first because I gotta get mine
Okay, Matthew, I'll let you go ahead and go.
Dang it.
out. Who's the person who gets to be
Nana.
inked?
Well, no, we can't give Nana ain't. You know what? We'll give the manliest man donor, Isaiah's uncle. He can be ain't.
All right.
Cool.
Sebi, you're ain't. That's your
Oh
slang
yeah.
word. It's my favorite.
All right,
word,
give me
too.
one,
That's
give me
a
one.
great honor.
Give your donor. Yeah.
Give me someone.
Yeah, you can be Nana, I guess.
Nana? Alright, well, it's going to be close to Matthew's. It's taint.
Oh.
Taint.
No, taint so.
Oh yeah, it ain't so. Like, yeah.
Oh.
Ain't so.
It's ain't with a T
I
in
love
front
that.
of it.
Matthew's
I
like,
love
ooh,
that.
second favorite word now. All right, Tanner, you got one?
Yes, I do. It's not as imaginable or as great
That's
as
okay.
theirs, but hit me.
You can have Van Pappy and Wayla.
Okay, there y'all.
There, y'all. Hey, perfectly
Okay.
respectable.
Oh, that's good, that's
y'all
good.
here in Texas is very respectable. Alrighty.
Cousins, Moses and Zara, I'm going to give them deed. Like, would they use it like indeed? Would they just say deed? Now for my Uncle Sam and Aunt Jenny, I'm going to do shanked.
Yes,
Matthew, it's
sir.
your turn. You can have Isaiah's grandparents.
Isaiah's grandparents.
Basically anything with an apostrophe in it. But do be more creative than that, please.
$5 years later.
Alrighty.
How about yes sir and
Ooh,
yes
Nice.
How about
That's
that?
a good one, because grandparents do. Alrighty. And
Yeah.
Isaiah, you can have your sister. I think that's the last one.
Yeah, hold on. Give me a minute. I got to find one.
You're looking at them in the book? That's not fair. Tanner's going off the top.
Yeah, I'm opening to a
Hey,
random
we told
page.
you could too.
Did you just talk to yourself in third, or talk about yourself in third person?
Yeah.
You can do can't.
No, you're telling it. Oh.
Hold on. Come on.
No, it means can't, but it looks cool.
Oh, yeah. Can't. That's a good one. Do can't.
Can't. There.
It's just ain't with a
Alright,
C in it.
folks, that's it for today. Thanks for listening.
Yeehaw.
Please make sure to rate and review us in your favorite podcasting app. If you want to support us, please go to patreon.com/bookin it. The link is included in the description below. If you donated at any of our levels, you get a donor shout out just like we did. And until next time,
Keep on booking it.